It's likely that at this point, you've all heard of the phenomena of lottery winners going bankrupt. Even while it may seem impossible for someone to spend several $1,000,000 as rapidly as they acquire them, the process by which this occurs is well known. A person without prior experience managing money wins the Mega Millions and immediately purchases numerous homes, vehicles, boats, and pricey jewelry. The balance of their bank account is zero after a year. So where exactly did they go wrong? What kind of influence did they have? Let's get it on. Number 14. Christina Goodenow. Initially, at least, Christina Elizabeth Goodenow's name was unmistakably descriptive of her circumstance. Everything went well until Christina won $1 million on a $1 million jackpot ticket, which most of us would consider impossible. But wait, the woman bought the ticket using the credit card of her boyfriend's late mother, which is against the law. Investigators learned of this mistake, accused her of identity theft and fraud, confiscated the funds, and imprisoned her. That sure kills the vibe, huh? How unlucky she was. A whopping $1 million vanished in the air just like that. We're really sorry, Christina. Maybe there'll be a next time. Number 13. Denise Rossi. It can be difficult not to laugh at the disaster when we witness selfish behavior like this. 11 days after discovering she had won $1.3 million in the California lottery, Denise Rossi filed for divorce without telling Thomas Rossi, her husband. Evidently, he was confused by this, which makes sense. She tried to keep all the money to herself, so she didn't disclose it. But when Thomas learned, he filed a lawsuit against Denise. Since she had broken the law by failing to disclose her assets, he was given the entire $1.3 million jackpot, leaving Denise destitute and alone. Number 12. Lara and Roger Griffiths. When they won a $2.4 million jackpot in 2005, Lara and Roger Griffiths were just a regular working-class couple living in West Yorkshire. Even at home, the couple quietly celebrated the victory with a bottle of champagne and takeout. But the last day of their routine life would be that simple celebration. The Griffiths resigned from their jobs, bought a convertible Audi, and traveled to Dubai while staying in a 5-star hotel less than a week after winning the jackpot. They also moved into a perfect house equipped with expensive furnishings, went on more opulent vacations, and indulged in shopping sprees. As Roger started drinking and Lara spent money improving her appearance, their lives began to spin out of control. The couple ultimately decided to file for divorce after the prize money quickly decreased to nearly nothing. Number 11. Callie Rogers. At just 16, Callie Rogers won the National Lottery jackpot in 2003 worth about $3 million. At the time, Rogers committed to acting appropriately while working for $5.50 an hour. But as teens frequently do, she rapidly changed her mind. She started buying mansions and going on vacation, but later admitted that she had also spent roughly $380,000 on crazy parties. After 2 failed suicide attempts and several years as a single mother of 2 children, she started working as a housekeeper again in her early 30s. Number 10. Suzanne Mullins. In 1993, Suzanne Mullins won $4.2 million in the Virginia lottery. With the help of her husband and daughter, she divided the yearly payments into 3 parts, leaving Mullins with around $47,000 annually. She soon found herself in trouble. According to her attorney, she spent $1 million on her uninsured son-in-law medical bills. She borrowed $200,000 from a financial foundation that catered to lottery winners who needed their money right away by using future winnings as collateral. Later, Mullins converted to a lump sum amount, but she never paid the amount back. The financial foundation sued and received a compensation of $154,000 that was essentially useless as Mullins had nothing left of value. Number 9. Evelyn Adams. To win the lotto even once would be extraordinarily lucky for most individuals. Evelyn Adams, a resident of New Jersey, won big not once, but twice, and in back-to-back years, winning a total of $5.4 million. She wasted this good fortune, though, as she had a problem with gambling and had spent most of her money on slot machines. She also gave some of her money to her loved ones and friends, and before she knew it, she was living in a trailer park with no money. Even though she was being kind, losing a second lottery prize is unacceptable because doing so would be insulting to luck. Number 8. Gerald Muswagon. In 2011, Canadian Gerald Muswagon spent $2 on a lottery ticket, instantly making him a millionaire. He had a $10 million windfall, but he finished it all in a matter of years. He purchased a home that served as his nightly party headquarters and gathering place for his burgeoning entourage. The Globe and Mail reported he also wasted the money on cars, parties, and gifts while accruing many legal troubles. By the time the money had run out, he was forced to take a job doing heavy lifting on a friend's farm just to make ends meet while supporting his girlfriend and 6 young children in their modest Winnipeg home. Sadly, he killed himself in his parents' garage 7 years after his significant win. Number 7. Sharon Tirabassi. After having to live on welfare and then going on later to win $10 million, it's understandable that you'd want to splurge a little. However, Sharon Tirabassi from Hamilton, Ontario discovered a considerable difference between indulging and blowing all your money until there was virtually nothing left. Sharon Tirabassi, the Lotto Super 7 winner, spent her boatload of money on a mansion, posh vehicles, fashionable clothing, extravagant holidays, and other usual rich people items. Sadly, her money quickly ran out. 9 years later, she's still raising her family while working part-time and residing in a leased home with her 6 kids. Quite sad, right? Number 6. Michael Carroll. This man is such a dumbass that a documentary was created about him. At 19, a young Englishman named Michael Carroll struck it rich, winning approximately $14 million. He promised he wouldn't spend the money extravagantly, but he did. He bought steel balls, which he used to catapult at store windows, a lakeside house, a BMW, a Mercedes, a lot of cocaine, and hookers. The now divorced Lotto loot soon ran out of money from his excessive partying and took a job in a biscuit factory. Quite unfortunate, but we've surely learned from his mistakes. Number 5. David Lee Edwards. David Lee Edwards, a citizen of Kentucky, won a $27 million prize, but 5 years later, he and his wife were homeless and residing in a storage shed. The couple wasted their riches on items many other fortunate winners buy. They acquired several expensive vehicles, homes, and a jet. In the first 3 months, they spent $3 million beyond their means. By 2006, the pair had sunk into drug addiction. David Lee Edwards passed away alone and broken in hospice care at the age of 58, just 12 years after the win altered the trajectory of his life. Number 4. Billie Bob Harrell Jr. Billie Bob Harrell Jr. stands out in the unfortunate history of lottery winners who spent excessive money too quickly. In just 2 years after winning the Lotto Texas prize, the Home Depot shelf stocker burned through $31 million. He and his wife purchased homes and vehicles for themselves and their loved ones. The fervently religious family gave generously to their church and specific congregation members. As the money ran out, the Harrells' marriage broke down. Harrell secluded himself in a room and shot himself dead less than 2 years after his lottery fantasies came true. Shortly before taking his own life, Bob confided to his financial advisor that winning the lottery was the worst thing that ever happened to him. Number 3. Americo Lopes. Americo Lopes' numbers finally came up in November 2009 after being a part of a New York lottery syndicate that made numerous efforts to win the Mega Millions jackpot. He informed his supervisor that he would be absent from work due to a foot operation and kept the lottery officials in the dark about his windfall. He never had the procedure and filed for benefits even after claiming the winnings worth more than $38.5 million. Later, his old co-workers discovered his deceit and sued, forcing Lopes to divide his profits. After the money was dispersed, it is now unknown how much money Lopes had left over to spend, but it was significantly less than what he had intended to take. 2. Janite Lee. When 52-year-old Janite Lee won the Missouri Lottery's then record $80 million payoff in 1993, she started spending immediately. She was incredibly giving and donated substantial sums to numerous political parties, community agencies, and educational initiatives. She gave $1 million to Washington University and donated huge sums to educational, political, and social causes. She utilized her wealth to network with influential individuals like Bill Clinton, Al Gore, and even the leader of South Korea. Just 8 years after her record win, she filed for bankruptcy. She had less than $700 in the bank and $2.5 million in debt. Number 1. Jack Whittaker. Jack Whittaker, who had a history of being generous to the underprivileged, became corrupted after earning $315 million. Before things started to get worse, he donated 10% of his winnings to various churches and assisted in lifting several individuals out of poverty. He spent millions on alcohol and strip clubs, funded his daughter's drug abuse, and was the target of a heist in which hundreds of thousands of dollars were taken from a suitcase in his car. He lost both of his daughters over several years, one from a heroin overdose and the other for unknown reasons. His home caught fire. He was often sued. He racked up debts to several casinos from his gambling, including one for $1.5 million. It's unknown whether any of Whittaker's winnings still exist after he passed away on June 27, 2020, after a protracted illness. It may be true, easy come, easy go. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Which of the winners could have been wiser? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more of our luxurious content, and why not click on another video showing now? This is The Luxurious. Talk to you in the next video.